How far back do you go, folks, with me in this channel? A long ways back? Let me explain something to you. First, when this channel started, it was in 2017, and it was September 24th. September 23rd, the Revelation 12 sign was seen for the first time. Total amazement, a fulfillment of prophecy. I made a video the day after. I went on to explain to people that Psalms 83 had not happened. I was laughed at, I was mocked, I was ridiculed, I was constantly told I was wrong. But I stuck with it, and I kept on explaining to people how Psalm 83 has not been fulfilled. As time went on, this is 7.5 years later now, people finally said, wow, this is true, and then they started reporting on it. So everyone picked up on Psalms 83. Yes, that's prophet, Asaph. That's a prophecy has not been fulfilled. It's been very pivotal to me in my understanding of scriptures. Now with that in mind, within Psalm 83, I want you to understand something that was said. So we see that Israel's surrounded by enemies. Asaph the prophet in Psalm 83 sees that. So he gets quite explicit as far as what's happening, talks about the hidden ones, which are the hostages, a dead giveaway as to this prophecy being of great importance. The next thing that happens here is you go to number 9, Psalms 83:9. It says right here, this is Asaph telling God. He's saying, do unto them as the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, as the brook of Kizom. If you haven't studied that and you haven't learned what that is all about, that is about the war of the Lord and Gideon. This is found in Judges 6 and 7. I'm going to summarize. Gideon was called upon to defeat the Midianites. The Midianites came in thousands and thousands at feast time, and they invaded Israel, and they took everything, all their gains that they had of cattle, that they had of grains, of their storehouses, and they just made a mockery of Israel about it. When they had everything, there was feast time for them. When this actually was taking place, so many of the Israeli people were so afraid that a lot of them would just leave town and run up and hide in the hills. The Midianites, here they come. And there was nothing Israel could do about it. They couldn't stop them. They prayed to the Lord, and God answered them. And the Lord spoke with Gideon and says, you're going to be the one that defeats the Midianites. And he says, but who am I? I'm just this one person. Gideon did everything he can to put as many men together as he possibly could in several thousands, still not even close to the number of the Midianites. As these numbers built up, the Lord interfered and said, no, that's way too many. And he dwindled the number down to only 300 men that were to go up against the Midianites. Gideon was really worried about this. God reassured him that he would win the war for him, for the Israeli people. He went on with the plan. The plan was that these 300 men, each having a horn, each one having that's an earthen vase. So just think of a clay pot of some sort, and a candle of some sort. And they were to surround the Midianites very wee hours of the morning. And they were to come down out of the hills towards the Midianites, and they were to yell out at Gideon's timing. This is the war of the Lord and Gideon, screaming it out. And they would each take their horn and blow it real loud. They would take, as they got closer and closer to the Midianites, they would uncover their candle, still yelling, this is the war of the Lord and Gideon, and then blowing the trumpets even more. And as they took the vases and the lights became seen, they took the vases and smashed them on the rocks, creating even more confusion with the encampment of the Midianites. They didn't know what to do. The Midianites jumped up. Those that were being watchful at night drew their swords. And the men come running out of that encampment, didn't know what was going on, and they started slaying each other. They killed each other. Now Gideon surrounded them on 3 sides, so there was one way to exit, and some did leave that way, and later were hunted down and killed, eliminating all of them in one night. So say in a day, it was finished. The war was over. The Midianites were eliminated, and Gideon was victorious. That's Judges 6 and 7 if you want to go into detail. Okay, I told you all this for a specific reason. So many are looking for, Ross, give us some sort of a clue of when the rapture is going to happen. And people are so confused. And if I remember, I have a special note at the end of this video I want to give you. All of the signs that we're looking for are here. Some people are even doubting whether they're in the season or not, or how long a season should be. No. We're here. This is the season. Okay. Ephesians 3 speaks of the seasons, a time for war, a time for killing, and there's many others. But they're there. Now, with this in mind and what I just got done telling you, what is the news that's out there today? All of a sudden, we've got something that is very positive. All right, let's give it to you the way I see it here. Israel has approved plans on Monday today to capture the entire Gaza Strip and to remain in the territory for a specific amount of time. Two Israeli officials said in a move that, if implemented, would vastly expand Israel's operation in the Palestinian territory and likely face fierce international opposition. Hours after the military chief said the army had called up tens of thousands of reservists. So many more soldiers are about ready to enter into this new campaign. Israel's getting serious now. Right? Israel okays conquering Gaza, holding the territories, as IDF chief said to warn, we could lose the hostages. They're now saying that they're ready to follow through with this war with the chance of losing the hostages. We spoke of this before. That's brand new. This is amazing, actually. They're willing to give up the hostages to end this war. Plan approved anonymously by ministers, eviscerated, gradually expanding military operations, implementation only after Trump's visit next week to the Middle East. Okay, so now this is pending next week. So let's get a date. Senior defense officials, IDF, to launch major Gaza op if no hostage deal ended by the Trump's Middle East. Let's go on here. Trump is set to visit Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and United Arab Emirates between May 13th and 16th. The day is what, the 5th? So between next week. Now, here's where it comes right here. This is where I want you to pay attention. A senior Israel defense official says the military will launch its major operation against Hamas and the Gaza Strip, dubbed Gideon's chariots. If no hostage deal is reached with the terror group by the end of U.S. President Donald Trump's visit to the region next week. Operation Gideon's chariots, whose objective is defeat Hamas in Gaza and release all hostages, and anonymously approved yesterday, Sunday, by the Security Cabinet, defense official says in a statement to reporters. So they're following through. This was yesterday's news, but I gave you today's news first. He says IDF will bolster its forces in operation with the intensity to defeat Hamas and destroy its military government capabilities while creating a strong presence for the release of the hostages. Weak spot in the chain, my opinion here. Still wanting a hostage release. Trump's visit with those different Middle East countries, along with a visit with our understanding what Israel's wanting to do. Is it possible that Hamas would finally give in to a hostage release, postponing everything and giving it more time before we're actually really able to see an advancement within scriptures, within prophetic times, within God's time clock. So you wanted something, and I'm sorry, I'm just being straight up. I don't have something to give you until today. That's significant. If it's called Gideon's chariot, it's amazing, because that's what the psalmist Asaph said as to God, to do unto them as, right there in scripture for us to read. I hope this was helpful to you folks, something for you to read, kind of look into a little bit. Again, Times of Israel, you can start looking there to get your various sources to branch out. And now that little special note I wanted to give you, it breaks my heart and makes it extremely sad that those of you that come to this channel give any credence to the liberal news media outlets. To me, that's sad. They are liars, cheats. They are the ones that have attempted to destroy Trump. They'll do anything and everything they can. They have no conscience whatsoever. Not all of them, but the major ones. They are reporting non-truth steadily as to confuse you folks. You really actually need to take the time to listen to conservative commentators. Fox News is one of them, but there are many out there. Trump is not doing all these bad things that you people, and I say you people, you folks, yesterday, and I removed a lot of them, that were here trying to tell me how bad Trump is and how he's done absolutely nothing. The only way you can develop that opinion is to have to listen to other news outlets. That's fake news. Said, done, finished. Okay, I'm very serious about this stuff, folks. I really am. Okay, until the next video, I thought this important enough to make this one today to let you know. There is a clear sign that we would be seeing something happen within the next couple of weeks that would be of great importance, least the fact that all of a sudden Hamas wants to negotiate for hostages. That could set us back even further. Ross's understanding given to you the best I possibly can. I hope this was helpful.